Hello, my name is Omar Rampasad. It's Sunday, April 29, 2018, 4:45 p.m. in Toronto. I just posted a video about Rahini Bessasar, um, the, um, the lady accused of murdering a woman that she did not know unprovoked. So I'm going to read another article for you on the topic, and then this would be the last time I come back to this case. Um, because there are many others like it. Anyway, so this again is in the National Post, and I'll post the link. And this is about the uh, the progression of the case through the system. So I'm just going to read some of it. After more than a dozen court appearances, the woman accused of stabbing a stranger to death in Toronto's financial district last December has fired her lawyer, further delaying her case. Rahini Bessasar was scheduled to appear in mental health court at Old City Hall Wednesday morning to discuss the results of a judge-ordered psychiatric assessment aimed at determining if the 40-year-old is fit to stand trial. She's charged with the first-degree murder of Rosemary Juneau, 28. Juneau had been married and purchased her first home when she was stabbed in the chest in Toronto underground path system on December 11th. She died in hospital 6 days later. Bessasar's psychiatric assessment was submitted to the court, but the report and the day's proceedings, including why Bessasar fired Barry, are covered by a publication ban. Barry told reporters that he could not discuss the results of the mental fitness assessment. It would not be proper given that I'm no longer her counsel. Bessasar case was referred to the specialized mental health court on April 22nd after she went on a bizarre and paranoid rant during a video appearance and after she was hospitalized by a psychiatrist at Milton, Ontario jail, at the Milton, Ontario jail, where she had been held since her arrest on December 15th. So something happened while she was in prison. When Bessasar first appeared in mental health court, she told the judge that she needs a body scan, not a psychiatric assessment. Very important, she told the judge that, keep in mind that this is an extremely intelligent woman, 3 degrees. She told the judge that she is a professional with 3 degrees who had worked on Bay Street. She graduated with an MBA from York University in 2007, but struggled to launch a career in Toronto's financial district. And she blamed her current situation on some experiment that had been done wrong. Again, she had blamed her current situation on some experiment that had been done wrong. My lawyer is not representing me as I wish, she said. I have no mental health problem. I am innocent of the crime. So I'm just going to stop there and make a comment. If somebody or a group of people, as part of an experiment, let's say, let's assume that she's right and it is an experiment. And a part of that experiment is stalking, gang stalking. And just for argument's sake, say the lady that was killed, and I'm not condoning the action of murder at all. Don't Please don't misunderstand me. Um, Under no condition should someone resort to violence. So I'm not condoning the act. However, I'm just looking at the circumstances surrounding what occurred. So let's assume that there was an experiment and this lady was being stalked by a group of people or groups of people. And the lady who was killed was one of the person doing this. And yes, she was a stranger. However, stalkers who stalk you as part of a community targeting program, if your name is on a list, and maybe Rahini Bessasar's name was on a list, stalkers don't make themselves known to the person they're stalking. But this person could have been in a team that was providing information to a manager who was managing this lady as part of the experiment. And maybe this lady was around Miss Bessessar, and she saw her and was seen by Bessessar. So, did she really know the person? No. Did she probably see the person before around her? Probably. I'm guessing that she did. And she knew that the person was stalking her. And maybe the person insulted her and harassed her. There would be no way that somebody would just take a knife and stab someone of this caliber, um, with no provocation. Maybe the incident in the Shoppers Drug Mart store, um, there was no provocation in the store. So she would have had to follow the lady. So why would you follow somebody with a knife in your hand? I keep in mind she was on antipsychotic drugs, and these drugs have very, very powerful effects. They make you suicidal, and they make you very, very aggressive. So if this was the case and she was drugged, and this lady had incited her anger previously, and this lady was being stalked continuously, incited anger continuously, then her actions was as a result of being pushed over the edge through the harassment, drugs, stalking. So incited anger and inciting somebody to violence is a crime. Keep in mind that drugs could be used to incite somebody to violence and anger as well. The byproduct, the side effects of some of these drugs is to make you suicidal, is to make you angry, is to make you aggressive, make you violent. So you can incite anger with a drug as well. And if this is the case, then this lady is not guilty. She's not guilty. If this is the case, she was incited to anger and violence using harassment, using drugs. Hypothetically, of course. Now, I'm making these assumptions just to make a point. I am being stalked. My anger is incited. I'm being called Chinese bovine as I walk the street, as I drive. Kids are pointing my way and saying things to the mother, such as she's a prostitute, she's a whore, because the mothers tell them to say it. I'm being criminally harassed in this area as a prostitute. I think I'm being flagged as a prostitute and monitored as a prostitute. Therefore, I'm being stalked and harassed, followed around by pimps that I reported to the cops. I'm being stalked. My anger is being incited. So something that would never happen in my case ever. I would never ever be violent. Um, but if someone in this situation were to become violent, the person is not responsible for the action. The person is not responsible for the action. Now, killing somebody is a very, 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 very serious, obviously, very, very serious thing to do. And I'm not saying that she should not be held accountable for that act, even if she's under drugs, the influence of prescribed drugs. There is no excuse for taking somebody's life, in my opinion, and she has to be held accountable for it. However, the idea of accountability, of blame, is she really to be blamed for the act? Is she really to be completely blamed, I should say? She has to take some responsibility for the act, in my opinion. But is she completely to be blamed for the act if she was under the influence of prescribed drugs and she was being targeted? I just wanted to say that. So talk to you another time.